and welcome to episode 122 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. As always, I'm super excited to be back with you guys this week to share what I've been working on and what I have planned and everything in between. It's going to be a good week. I have started quite a few new things this week or over the course of this past week. So yeah, it has been a really good making week. I was kind of like this morning I was trying to get ready to film and like preparing my own little personal show notes so that I don't miss anything and stuff like that, and I was afraid that I wasn't going to have much to share because this week has been crazy and I felt like I didn't get a lot done, but it turns out I did, which is great, super great. I have a lot to share. I'm excited about it. So today is Saturday, September 10th. It's a pretty cloudy and overcast day, but thankfully the lighting is not bad. I was so worried it was going to be so shadowy and not bright, but the sun is peeking out at like the perfect time, which is awesome. So I don't have any finished objects to share this week, but I do have quite a few works in progress, so we're just going to hop right into the podcast this week with some whips. Okay, the first work in progress I have to share this week is a new pair of vanilla socks that I have been working on. I honestly can't remember if I started these last week or not, or if I had these started. I think I was working on the cuff, but I could be wrong. Either way, these are a new addition to the whip pile. I am using a yarn from Hobie. This is the first time I've used this yarn, and I'm really liking it so far. It's called Atlas, 75% superwash wool, 25% polyamide. This is a 100 gram ball, so you get about 459 yards. And then this is the colorway, just the number 7. It doesn't have the name listed, but it's really pretty. It definitely reminds me of just like autumn and fall tones. It's got some like dark orange, green, a kind of a deep shade of burgundy. It's really, really pretty. These are going to be a gift for somebody later this year. And here is what I have so far, and I'm losing stitches. Okay. Here's what I have so far. So I have finished the cuff, and I am working down the leg. I don't have a ton done, but that's okay. This hasn't been, like, my focus this week. But here is what they currently look like. I think they're going to self-stripe a little bit. I'm still, like, I'm still not 100% sure about that. I'm going to have to wait until I have probably like the entire leg done, honestly, which I'm going to be doing about 35 rounds for this leg. So I'm really going to have that entire thing done before I can really tell if it's going to stripe or not. But it looks really cool so far. I'm really excited about it. Just using my standard, the vanilla sock pattern I always use, which is my own Success Socks pattern. I'll link it down below. It's free on Ravelry in my blog. And then I have video tutorials here on YouTube as well to kind of guide you through the process. But there's also so many other amazing sock tutorials out there on YouTube. Like, definitely just choose whichever teacher helps you the best. But, like, I myself used Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady. I learned to knit socks through her 9-inch circular sock tutorial. I think that's not the right one. How to knit socks on 9-inch circulars, I think is what the actual title of the video is. But anyway, and if it wasn't for her and that video and how detailed she was, I definitely would not have learned how to knit socks. So, just to share that with you, I highly recommend her channel. But anyway, here's what I currently have. I'm really excited about it. They're going great. Size 1, 2.25 needles, which is my go-to for fingering weight socks. I just really like the gauge that I get. About 8 stitches per inch is kind of the going rate for sock gauge, and that's the gauge that I'm able to achieve with this size needle. So, works really well. And yeah, so that is work in progress number 1. Hoping to make some good progress on that this week. Yeah, I don't know how far I get. I would love to at least finish the leg. Ideally, I finish the first sock, and I definitely think that's doable. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, moving on. I have a new whip. And once again, I feel like I started this. I think I had the ribbing done maybe last week on the hem. I can't remember again. But I am working on a brand new sweater project. And I am so excited about it. I wanted to have like a new cozy, oversized kind of sweatshirt style sweater to wear in this fall and winter season. And so I wanted to go ahead and start it so that when it did finally get cold here in Alabama, which is still going to be a while, I will be able to wear this and just cozy up in it. And I am so excited about it. So I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce this word. I think it's called Mondrian. But I'm also so scared that I'm completely saying that wrong. So I will link the pattern down below. It's by Two of Wands. I love so many of her patterns, and this is definitely one of them. You can find it free on her blog, but then there's also a PDF version available as well if you would like to purchase it. I'm just using the blog post version because it works. And this is a really simple pattern, so I don't have to look at it all the time or anything like that. So it's not cumbersome to use just the blog post version. So she designed this sweater to be, what's the word? Intarsia, I think. So it's like her specific sample that she has on the pattern photos. It's like split down the middle, one color on this side and one color on this side. And then like the sleeves are a different color. It looks so cute. Like I love the look of it. But for this version, I decided to just use one color. And I am using Knit Picks Brava Bulky in the colorway Denim, I believe. Yeah, the colorway Denim. It's a really pretty light blue color. I really like it. Just kind of very, very basic. A little more fun than gray maybe, but kind of that neutral, at least in my eyes. Like I definitely plan to just wear this with black leggings. Like that is 100% the goal. I also sized up, so typically I knit the extra small or just the smallest size in most patterns, but for this one I sized up to the size, like she has an extra small, I'm doing the small because I wanted to be sure that it would be like really oversized and cozy. And as you can tell, like it'll be easier to tell this way, like this is just the front panel and you can see that it's definitely going to be like more of a drop shoulder look, which is my favorite. I love oversized shirts and tops, so this is going to be amazing. I'm loving it so much. And yeah, it's going really, really well. So I have the entire front panel done. There's a little bit of shoulder shaping, and so I did that, and then finished the entire stockinette body, of course, and it was pretty quick. So now this week I will just start on the back panel. I believe they're identical, so I don't really think it matters which is which, but I'll start on that this week. And hopefully, I haven't looked ahead in the pattern. I'm not sure if the sleeves are seamed and then, like, knit flat and then seamed to the sweater. I'm hoping they're, like, directly attached because seaming, like, this part of the shoulder is not fun. Like, I just have not figured out how to do that in a way that looks good. And so, I think what I'm going to do, like, even if the pattern doesn't necessarily suggest this, I think I'm going to make both panels, the front and back panel, seam them together on the sides, leaving room for the armholes, and then just knitting them directly onto the sweater from shoulder to cuff. And that'll make more sense as I continue to show this project, but that is definitely my preferred way to knit sleeves, and so I'm kind of hoping that's how it's written in this pattern. But once again, I have not looked ahead. I'm just kind of going with it on this pattern, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and it's going really great. It's also really mindless, which is always nice. After long work days, it's just so amazing to come home and be able to create and not have to think too much about it. It's amazing. Okay, one more work in progress to share. This is technically a design. I'm not using a specific pattern for it, but this is a design that won't be coming out anytime soon. Kind of aiming for like a 2023 spring, late spring release for this pattern. And my sample is almost done, but there are already a few things that I really want to change in future samples and in the pattern itself. So because of that, I'm not even going to call it a design anymore. At least not right now. But I finished the body this week on this knit tee that I have been working on, and it is looking so good. So as you can tell, it is again oversized and cropped as well. I talked more about this last week because I was wearing the shirt, but I have a couple of shirts that I own that are purchased from the store that I really, really love the fit of, and so I kind of wanted to replicate that at least a little bit with a knit tee design, and so that's what I'm doing with this pattern, and it's going really well. It's not, perfection doesn't exist, so it's not going to be perfect, but I want it to be a little bit closer to perfect than it actually is right now. So for this exact sample though, I'm going to be adding the sleeves, which are just going to be short sleeves, no shaping at all. I'm just going to pick up and knit for like, I would say at least 4 inches, and then do the ribbing to match the hem, and then be done with the sleeves. So that won't take very long. And then that's it. I think I'm going to be done. I'm still debating whether I want to do anything for the neck or not, because so far I've just bound off those stitches. Like I haven't added any sort of neckline or anything like that. Another thing about this design, like why, you know, I'm not done with it, why I want to revisit the pattern and make another sample, is this is not the neckline that I'm going for. I don't dislike it, but I prefer more of like a crew neck, like kind of the look of this shirts and almost all the shirts that I wear. This crew neck is my favorite neckline shape. I don't love the boat neck look. I mean, this is all like personal preference, of course, but I personally don't love the boat neck look, and this is basically what this is. And so it was originally wider, and then I went back and seamed some more stitches on the sides, and so now it fits like closer to my neck, which I like, but it's like really hard to get over your head because it's a small hole for your head to fit through. And like obviously I don't want that to be a concern in the pattern at all. So I have a few ideas on how to modify the shoulder and shoulder shapings, shoulders and shoulder shaping to solve that issue. So yeah, you know, just not done with it. It's definitely still in the works. But I am excited to finish this sample and wear it and block it. It needs to be blocked for sure. So I'll do that. Add sleeves, block it, and hopefully it'll be done by next week. I'm hoping. I think I can get that done. But yeah, it's going really well. The yarn that I'm using is Knit Picks Cotton in the colorway Mustard Seed, I think. It's a really gorgeous mustard yellow, like my favorite shade of mustard. I love it so much. It's going to be so cute with jeans for the fall season. I'm really, really looking forward to wearing it. So there is that project. And that is it for works in progress. I think, right? Look at my show notes to make sure. Yes. So that is it for all of the whips this week. But I'm working on a couple of designs that you have seen and one that you haven't seen yet that I'm so excited about. So let's go ahead and talk about those things for a little bit. First up in designs this week, I was going to talk about something else, but let's actually do this first. So this week I revisited a pattern that I released in the past and created a video tutorial to go along with it and kind of updated the pattern, and that is for the Summer Lines Can Cozy. So I designed this in 2020, so a little over 2 years ago now. And I just kind of wanted to go back to that pattern, update the layout, because it's changed a little bit since I first started. It's changed a lot, actually, since I first started designing. So I wanted to make that better, and then I decided to create a tutorial to go along with the pattern as well. So you can find all of those things now. You can find the pattern on Ravelry and Etsy as a PDF, but then it's also free on my blog and the tutorial as well. You don't have to have the pattern to go along with the tutorial. It's completely up to you. So I'll link all of those resources in the description box if you want to check it out. But this is just a really simple crochet pattern. It's really small, obviously. It uses a cotton yarn and only the single crochet stitch. You work in the back loop for the majority of the body of the cozy here to kind of give you that fun texture, but it's also just like a really nice snug fit, which is obviously what I was going for with a pattern like this. But yeah, these would be a really cute idea for like stocking stuffers or a little addition to a gift for the upcoming Christmas season here in a few months, but then also for like craft fairs or just parties in general. I think these would be such a cute touch. So anyway, I love it. I made a couple this week to kind of, again, just to revisit the pattern, and then obviously I made one through like while I did the tutorial. So this is the first one I made. I used Crochet Dishi in, I believe this is the creme brulee, I can't say it, creme brulee, but that's still not really how you say it. It's a really pretty light yellow though, and then this color is called Inlay, and I love it. I've talked about this color before. I've used it a few times. It's like a really, really pretty light sage green. Love this colorway so much. Like, I want to make like a full placemat set in this and like have it in my future kitchen. Like, I feel like this would be so cute in I don't know. I'm not going to go on that tangent. But the point is, I really love this color, and I feel like it could look so cute as like a color theme in a kitchen or dining room area. But anyway, check out that pattern if you're interested. Like I said, it's just really fun to whip up something quick sometimes. And that's definitely a pattern like that. Okay, and then speaking of quick projects, this is definitely not one, but I'm having so much fun with it anyway. So I mentioned last week, I'm pretty sure I shared the yarn for a blanket that I was going to be starting, and I have now started it, and it is going so well. So this is going to be the Efficient Blanket. I have been growing a collection for quite a while now with the theme efficiency, and use it like these are crochet patterns that use almost only the double crochet stitch. They're kind of designed like so far all the patterns are garments. So I have the tee, the wrap, and the pullover and cardigan. So 4 patterns, and they're all like super basic and beginner friendly, like just oversized, easy to pick your size, that kind of thing. And that's exactly what I was going for the collection. But since I started it, I wanted to create a blanket pattern. So that's exactly what I'm doing now. So this is going to be about 50 by 60 inches in size, but it's also super easy to adjust that if you want it to be smaller or larger. And then, like I said, it uses almost only the double crochet stitch. Here is it, right side up. It doesn't really matter, but I suppose I should show it with right side. So as you can tell, it is super, super drapey. I mean, you can like almost see me through the fabric. But I love that. Like, this is just going to be such a lightweight throw to have around my room and the house. Like, it's going to be amazing. I am loving every single stitch. Yeah, it's going so great. I'm super excited about this pattern. I have a goal right now to release it sometime in the month of October. This is going to be color blocked, and I'm using, I think 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, different colors. And so I'm hoping to get like one color section done each week. And then I'm also going to be adding a border to the blanket, and then obviously, you know, finishing up all of the pattern details and stuff like that. So I'm hoping for an October release, maybe mid to late October. But I thought I would go ahead and talk about the yarn briefly. Again, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it last week, but just to kind of reiterate, I'm using We Crochet Billow in 6 different colors. So 5 for each of the color sections in the blanket itself, and then 1 for the border. So I'm using Cadet. This pink is Tea Rose, and it's the first color that I'm using, of course. And then this mustard yellow is called Turmeric. I can barely reach. I meant to grab these before I started filming. Anyways, okay, here is the next color. This is a dark purple. It's called Comfrey. And then this is going to be the border color, and it's called Natural, I believe. Yeah, Natural. So it's just a really, really nice kind of creamy white. And then last but not least, this one's falling apart, but it is Whisker, I believe is the name. Yes, and it's just a light gray, kind of silvery. So that's the palette along with this pink color. This is like me in a palette. I love these colors together so much. It's just going to be amazing. I am really, really excited about it. Like I said, it's going super great. I'm using, I think, a 10 millimeter hook, I think. I have it down here. Let's see. Is it 10? Yeah, 10 millimeter hook. So, you know, super loose, open gauge. And it has just been a lot of fun to work on. A lot of fun to work on. So that has kind of been my favorite thing this week to work on, which is why I made a decent amount of progress on it this week. But I also do want to accomplish the goal of, you know, working on a color section each week and then releasing it in October. I'm hoping to stand by that. Okay, and then lastly for designs, I have made a good bit of progress on this pattern this week. The next step, I want to have tutorials to go along with this pattern as well, so that's kind of the next step in terms of this pattern. But I'm working on a Tunisian crochet dishcloth pattern. This has been something that I have wanted to release for a while. I started it and like tried to do it and release it over the course of the summer, and it just didn't happen. Like, I tried and failed, but now, you know, my skills as a Tunisian crocheter have improved a little bit, and I tried again, and it is going so much better. So I have a few done so far. I think I shared these last week. There's so many colors, like these really need to be blocked, but I made these 2 at first with just one solid color, And then I made this one that uses 2 colors, and it looks so stinking cool. I love it. Here is a close-up of it. I think you can see those colors pretty well. And then the back looks really cool too. Like, it's just completely striped. It's so fun. I love it. It was so much fun to crochet as well. I used Dishy Twist in the colorway Conch. And then I held that with silver in the Dishy as the solid color. So anyway, Dishy Twist is so fun. I think this was, no, that's not true. I haven't used it much though. I've used it a couple of times. I used it when I designed and launched the Rhythm dishcloth. But I think that's the only other design that I've used it for to date. But anyway, this pattern is going great. I'm really excited about it. Like I said, next up we'll be filming the tutorial. So I hope to have that done over the course of this week or next. That's the plan, because I would love to release this pattern either later this month or right at the beginning of October. It just kind of depends timing wise, but it's definitely coming soon. This week, I will be launching the Mega Brilliant Beanie pattern, which is this one. I've shared it a couple of times on the podcast, but this beanie pattern uses super bulky yarn. I could actually kind of put one on because my hair is down today for the most part. It's not all the way down, so hopefully I don't completely mess it up. But here is what the beanie looks like. So it's just super, it's actually really warm. Like, I can barely hear through through the cuff. It's covering up my ears. Anyway, super cute, super just like big and warm and chunky. It's going to be great in the winter. It's obviously way too hot for it right now still. And it, it's September. Like, it's not fall yet. But yeah, so that pattern is going to be coming out later this week. Stay tuned. It will be free, as with all of the other hat patterns in the Brilliant Beanie collection. So I'm really excited to launch that, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I think you will. It's super quick to work up as well, which is always fun. Always nice to have something like that on the needles that's just mindless and it's going to get done quick. Alrighty, so that is it for all of the making content for this week. Like I said, I have quite a bit of things to talk about, and that'll only continue next week. Mainly, it'll just be progress on everything that's been started. I probably won't start. I have a couple things that I'm hoping to start soon, so maybe I'll have a new design to share next week, but besides that, definitely back in the cycle of finishing up these things before starting new ones. But anyway, that is it for all of the making content. I do have a little devotional that I want to share with you guys, and then kind of jump into a life update after that, so I hope that you choose to stick around. So for devotional this week, I wanted to talk about a verse that's kind of been on my heart and in my mind just over the past few weeks, and primarily this week as well. And it's Matthew 22 verse 37. And in this passage, Jesus is talking about what is the greatest commandment, and his reply is, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. Obviously that verse is really impactful, but then also just the idea of actually doing that and fulfilling the greatest commandment is also really impactful. I was watching a sermon series earlier this week, and one of the things that the guy said was that the deepest desire of God's heart is to have a personal relationship with him. And that's something that I've known for the majority of my life, and something that I've been like really actively pursuing primarily over the last few years. But it just kind of hit all over again how the creator of the universe and the world and every single little thing in it seeks to have a personal relationship with me and knows me by name and wants me to know him as God and Father and friend. And that's just overwhelming in the most beautiful way. And so I feel like this verse kind of encapsulates that very well. Of course, we're called to love him. Well, exactly as the verse says, with all of our heart and with all of our soul and with all of our mind. He's supposed to be the reason behind why we do everything, why we make the decisions that we make, why we spend time in the way that we spend time. He's supposed to be the reason behind it all. And it's just, like, obviously it's not always easy to, it's not easy, period, to live like that necessarily, but it is the most beautiful way to live, and I was thinking about something else earlier this week, and just something personally that I'm walking through and learning to walk through and learning to glorify God through it. And I, like, as I've been going through this season of life, I've spent so much time in the Word and just kind of seeking to know Him more and more. And it just kind of hit me, like, last weekend how I'm so thankful that I'm given the opportunity to have a personal relationship with Him, because I can't imagine going through life without knowing that. And so it's, on one hand, it's kind of heartbreaking thinking of those who don't know Jesus, but at the same time, I pray that this platform and the way that I hold myself on social media can be a light for Him just through my actions. Your desire to follow and trust in Jesus is a private decision. It's a decision between you and God, and it's not, my place or my responsibility to put that on you, of course. But I just pray that all of you know that any encouragement that I try to share or any inspiration that I give is because of Him, and it's my hope to glorify Him in every single thing that I do. So I hope that was encouraging, as always. Anyway, just get into the Word. I read, like, somebody messaged me on Instagram and kind of asked for advice on that subject, and I read 1st and 2nd Peter, I guess the week before last now. And now I'm going through 1st and 2nd and 3rd John. And, like, those 5 chapters are some of my favorite in the New Testament. And they're very big chapters. They talk about a lot of topics, but they're also very encouraging and just kind of show how we should live as Christians in a broken world. And then I'm also, like, still going through the chronological Bible plan. I've talked about it a few times here. But I'm almost done with the Old Testament, actually. But I'm still in it right now. And the Old Testament, every single word in the Bible is true and beautiful and intentionally placed. But at the same time, the Old Testament can kind of be just hard to read sometimes because it's before Jesus came, and Jesus came in the New Testament. And so there's a new life, a new hope, a new light in the New Testament that's not in all of the Old Testament. So me reading, 1st and 2nd Peter was just kind of to gain that New Testament encouragement kind of thing. Anyway, so that's definitely why I advise you to partake in those books primarily. But anyways, in terms of a life update, kind of just living the same, working, maintaining these platforms and creating new content as much as I can and new designs, and then working on these projects. I'm in just a sweet season of work right now, and just kind of, trying to enjoy every single day, even if some are long. So many sweet moments. I am a nanny. If you're new here, first of all, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. But I am a nanny currently, and so it's such a beautiful job. I am so, so grateful for it every single day. And there's just a lot of sweet moments and a lot of hilarious moments. I'm with a 3-year-old all day, every day, and so it's hilarious. Like, life is just so fun, getting to be with her so often. But anyway, I hope that you have had such a great week and that you continue to have a good week full of so much making. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. And then also check out all of the links in the description box below. There's going to be obviously links to some things that I have mentioned throughout the episode and talked about, but then also social media platforms, pattern shops, that sort of thing, Facebook groups. And then also, just to mention it, I do a free pattern for newsletter subscribers every other week now. It's kind of changed this week, but every other week I do that. So definitely, I have a link down below. Be sure to subscribe to the newsletter so that you can get that free pattern. It's just a really fun way to kind of connect and give back and to show my gratitude to you guys. So definitely be a newsletter subscriber if you aren't already. But yeah, I think that is it. Again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy making. Bye.